Hi, I'm Josh and I love everything human-powered adventure, which is why I've set myself the challenge to kick scooter the entire length of the UK, 950 miles between John O'Groats and Land's End on a kick scooter. No battery, no motor, just one push at a time. So far, I've scooted my way through the Flow Country's endless gravel, got battered by Storm Amy and pushed through the rugged Cairngorms. I smashed my daily distance record, hitting 75 miles in a single day. I discovered the magical waterfalls of the River Clyde, crossed the Scotland-England border on day 8, got my first puncture after 400 miles and had to grind my way up to reach the halfway point of this entire journey. And that's where you're rejoining me on day 10, waking up on the edge of the Forest of Bowland. I'm halfway there, but the hardest miles might still be ahead. Let's find out.
Good morning. And over there was a very bright, beautiful sunrise happening. But over the last 10 minutes or so, this cloud has rolled in. That was a really, really good camp spot. Definitely one of the best for the trip. Definitely a bit wet up here, but it wasn't from the rain or anything. Very peaceful, very quiet. It was a bit windy for a few hours and then it settled down and it was just very quiet. And then over here was the odd cow and sheep in some neighbouring fields. So I was looking at the map last night, and day 10 will hopefully see us get through Manchester. Now, to get through Manchester, like the other end of Manchester, it is about 60 miles, so I'm going to have to push and get that big 60 miler in again. I wouldn't mind doing a little bit further, to be honest. If I could hit that 70 mile mark a bit more often, that would be nice.
Do do do, do do do. Oh, it's very wet today. Oh, do do do. Careful of that rock, because it will scrape my scooter. Oh, do do do. Oh, do do do. Oh, do 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 do. Oh, do do do. And scootering, pulling along. Oh, do do do. Until the gate stops me this morning.
After what was an absolutely brilliant camp spot, I woke up to something special. Descending out of the clouds, the sun just starting to break through, changing the colour of the sky from grey to this incredible pink colour. Everything was peaceful, everything was quiet, just me, the scooter, and this perfect morning. And I needed it, because the next few days, busy roads, traffic, miles of tarmac through built up areas, so soaking in the moment like this, while I still had it, that felt important.
Well, that's a much better morning than yesterday. At 20 miles, it's about 10 AM. I think it took me until about midday yesterday to get 20 miles. Got a bit of a hike up here, but if I remember rightly, there's a nice bench with a nice view, and we've got some breakfast. Got the meal deal. So I'm gonna stop there for a minute and enjoy some breakfast. Much better day so far, but I can tell things are getting busy. Lots of people, lots of cars, and it's going to be busy for the next few days at least. Now, hopefully not tonight, probably definitely not tonight. hopefully not tomorrow, but possibly the next day, I might have to find a hotel or something, or a B&B or something, because I'm gonna need to charge camera batteries. I'm getting pretty low, but I'll probably save that until maybe closer to like Gloucester or something.
One meal deal down, and it was time to continue and start making my way towards Manchester. Being on a scooter, I tried to find the quietest way into the city. Luckily, coming in from the north, there seemed to be plenty of quiet trails from canals to what I assume are old railway lines turned into cycle routes, so I was happy enough scooting along.
What an absolutely glorious day today. The weather is playing ball nicely since after that storm, and the sun is shining today. It's not too hot, there's like not even any wind, it's just very, very nice. I want to say I probably got like 10ish miles until I'm into the centre of Manchester. Done 32 miles and it's about 12:30, so on track to hit that 60 for sure. I'm sure with this part of the world it's all a bit busy and stuff, so I'm probably going to have to go into the night a bit to find somewhere to camp, I'm sure, but we'll see. Into the centre we go.
Maybe it was because of how brutal the last couple of days had been, but today I was flying. Legs felt strong, rhythm felt good. Everything was clicking. With only 10 miles to the city centre, I figured I'd cruise through the last of these quiet trails before hitting the chaos of the Manchester traffic. Turns out my maths was a little off.
Seem to have misjudged just how far the Manchester city centre is. It's not 10 miles from where I was. I've just done 10 miles. It's probably another 12 miles from now. I've done like 42 miles and it's about 1:30. Ooh, I was going to go that way. So let's keep going. We'll get there soon.
I actually did have just under 10 miles to the centre, and making good miles in good time. I would make my way through the Outward Trail, another old railway line running through the trees, slightly downhill and following the River Irwell, the last bit of nature for a while before entering the city of Manchester. Once I'd hit the roads though, if anything, it just made me kick harder, and my pace was actually not far off that of bicycles. It was the weekend, so Manchester was quite busy, so it would be a flying visit to Manchester today to get in and out the other side before the light would be fading.
currently 4:30 and I've done literally just under 60 miles already. I've been flying today. Obviously I've had a bit more like downhill and stuff. I'm just coming out the back end of Manchester now. Finally got to somewhere a little bit quieter so I can sit down, have some food, and I still don't know where I'm going to camp tonight. Got a couple of hours until it gets dark. I think tonight I'm probably going to go into the night a little bit. I'm kind of hoping between somewhere from Wilmslow and Congleton, somewhere in between there. Possibly it gets a little bit quieter between there, but again, I actually don't know. But yeah, 60 miles done. Could today we break that 75 miles? I think I'm going to try, but we'll see. Depends on where I can camp.
I had nearly completed my goal of getting through and past Manchester today. Crossing the motorway once more is a good sign that it would start to get a little quieter. Leaving the city though was a bit slower and a bit more of a push. 60 miles seemed to be the point where my body would have been happy to stop. But today I would have to push on into the sunset to find somewhere to sleep.
Doesn't look like I'm going to quite break the record today. I'm going to finish up with about 72 miles. So just under, but I'm like, it's just getting dark. I feel it's a bit later today. I think it's just because it is such a light day. It's probably the lightest day of the whole trip so far, but I'm surrounded by those woodlands. So fingers crossed I can find somewhere around here. And then tomorrow on towards Stoke-on-Trent, but we're going to be picking up lots of canals and stuff now, and like cycle paths. That's the nice thing about getting past Manchester. But yeah, nice 72 miles. I will take that. I would have liked to have gone a bit further, but I think while it's likely some good camp spots around here, I might as well use them instead of going too late and then ended up in Stoke in the middle of the night. And Manchester was crazy busy because it's Saturday. But I'm going to find somewhere to camp around here. And as always, I'll see you bright and early in the morning. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful sunset. It's kind of gone now, but still nice. Good morning. I had a great little camp spot last night, and all surrounding me is quite foggy this morning, so it was really nice to actually be in the trees because my tent's all nice and dry, whereas if I'd slept out in a field it would be soaking wet. This is crazy. I'm just like looking at the route last night and I'm looking how many miles I've done, and I'm looking how many miles I've got to go. And it's crazy to think it's less than 400 miles. It's about 390 miles. So after today, I don't know, it just feels crazy. Oh look, it's really foggy. So after today, I am going to be quite close to that 300 mile mark. Now, unlike on the BMX challenge, I went through Birmingham. This time I'm kind of going around the west sort of side of it, towards like Wolverhampton, Stafford. So I'm not going directly through the centre of Birmingham this time. But tomorrow I am planning to stop at Gloucester in a hotel or B&B if I can find a room so I can get everything charged. But that does mean doing at least 60 miles today, and then I'll have another 60 tomorrow. But if I can do a bit more than 60 today, that'd be good. But I should finish up on like a nice gravelly, it's like an old railway line. So I'm kind of hoping if I can finish up there today and There's a few little woodlands around there, so I might be able to camp around there. But today, apart from it being very foggy right now, that should hopefully lift as the sun starts to rise. We've got about 10 miles until Congleton, and then it's nice trails for most of the day where I get on the Biddulph Way, and then it's just like I think it's an old railway line. And then I will also be going along the canal into Stoke, and just should be quite a nice day. It's quite flat. It's quite a nice part of the route in some respects because it is all flat, and as I found out, the scooter is good on flat or downhills. It's not great when it's steep climbs. So Devon Cornwall's going to be fun. But last night it felt like it was raining, but it wasn't raining. It was just like leaves falling. Right, let's out into the fog and on towards Congleton. Day 11. Oh.
I'll walk to the road, stretch down the legs.
When I started this morning, it was a very still morning, a chilly morning, a damp morning from the fog. Unlike yesterday with clear skies, today was quite a dreary day, a day quite hard to wake up from and really get going. The grey, dreary day was dictating my mood this morning, and while I would make it onto the Biddulph Way, another old railway line turned cycle route, the fog had not lifted, and it didn't look like it was going to. So slowly pushing my way up the gradual climb, trying to get some energy for the rest of the day. These old railway lines always have a tipping point. They are never truly flat, so making it to that tipping point to be able to gradually descend towards Stoke was a welcome moment this morning, and now I would be able to start making use of the canal system for some easy flat miles.
Is officially 600 miles. So 350 to go. It's still all foggy. Doesn't look like it's gonna change today, but my scooting power definitely is synced with the weather. If the weather's all dreary and miserable like today, I feel all sluggish and dreary and miserable, but just hit the 40-mile mark for today, so only another 20ish to do at minimum, maybe a bit more, who knows. But yeah, it's just a very dreary day again. Canal. I've already got like 10 miles to go until I get to that rough woodlands that I'm potentially going to camp in. I might not camp there, but I've got a room booked tomorrow in Gloucester. From that spot it's about 60 miles. Now I want to try and get to the hotel for as early as possible, so I've got as much time to have a little bit of recovery, have a wash, get everything charged and reset, because once I'm in Gloucester and I leave Gloucester, it's like the final push. It'll be like nearly less than 300 miles or something. So ideally, the closer I can get to Gloucester today, the better. But I am still sort of coming around the side of like Birmingham and that sort of busy area. So we'll see. But right now, the canal path isn't that easy to ride. Probably got about 5 or 6 miles of this, and then I should be on a nice sort of, I think it's an old railway line, where I can actually ride for the last 10 miles or so. If I decide to go further though, I'll probably have to do quite a big day, at least the 70 miles, possibly more. And yeah, this is what I'm dealing with at the moment. It's a bit sketchy. It's a bit sketchy on a scooter because I go to push and I don't really know where the edge is. I don't want to fall in. Oh, could have been coming down there. I think we'll follow the road for a little minute.
After a little detour from my planned route to avoid the overgrown canal towpath, I would make it to the old railway line, the South Staffordshire Rail Walk, which is where I wanted to make it to today. With all the flat miles today, I'd arrived quite early, so I needed to make the decision to either wait around to camp or carry on.
Gone past that magical 60 miles for the day. I'm just feeling so drained today. I'm really feeling tired, but I really want to give myself the easiest possible, shortest day to get to the hotel tomorrow. Another 10 or 15 more miles. It's a bit of a push and it'll probably be a bit dark by the time I do that miles, but if I can get through Stour Bridge, good, because then tomorrow it's it'll be a lot shorter. And I should be able to get to Gloucester for around 2 PM, which is when I can check in. But where I am right now is where I was thinking of camping, and it is tons of spots. But I'm gonna have a little sit down on this lovely, very conveniently placed bench and have a look at the map. There's lots and lots of spots around here. I'd have to wait a couple of hours until it gets properly dark, but I mean, maybe I could just get up really early. Will I though? That's the question. Probably not. Now here, lovely woods. Stour Bridge. Go through that. Could be something there. Good morning. As you can see, it's still very dark because last night I obviously continued, ended up doing 74 miles. Again, didn't quite break my record, just 1 mile short, But yeah, I ended up staying in this church, which is kind of annoying because every like hour or 45 minutes or something, the bell rings. But I just slept on a bench here. I'm going to get an early start because I've got about 50 miles to get to Gloucester. So I do want to try and get them done as quick as possible. Got like 10 miles to a place called Droitwich Spa or something. I've never heard of it. And then into Worcester. And then obviously down to Gloucester. It's generally quite a flattish day, kind of a downhill, kind of flatty day. But yeah, just gonna try and take it easy, but also try and make good progress today and get to Gloucester as early as possible. I can check in from 2 p.m. So if I could get there from then, that'd be perfect. But for now, we're gonna beat the sun this morning. I don't know where already. I think it's a bit foggy again. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's come to Gloucester. This bell was so annoying.
Leaving Belbroughton this morning, I understood the name, with the bells still ringing in my ears. It was another dreary, tired day, and today I was really feeling tired. The lack of sleep last night, getting woke up every hour, wasn't the greatest start to the day. I managed to scoot my way to Worcester, where I was able to grab some breakfast in hope of waking myself up. But today it wasn't just tired in the sense of wanting to sleep. Today my body was starting to feel the effects of scootering well over 600 miles in 12 days.
I think today is like the first day where I can really feel it in my legs. Like every push is a bit of a battle. I think the last 2 days where I've done back-to-back 70 plus mile days, starting to catch up a bit. But by doing that has meant today I've just crossed past 300 miles to go, and by the time I get to Gloucester it'll be like 275, so it's pretty good. It's like getting to them nice smaller numbers, and I think after a good rest I'm very much likely to want to push at least one big day from Gloucester, at least into sort of towards the hills, because after that it's going to be a bit of a battle to finish. But I'm just really tired today. Every push hurts.
It was very hard to get into any rhythm this morning. My body tired and hurting with each push of the scooter meant a little bit of pain through the legs each time. I knew though that the more I pushed, the less time I spent stopped, the more time I would have to recover in a hotel tonight. So through them foggy fields I went, on towards Upton upon Severn and meeting the River Severn, them familiar sights, knowing just how close I was to Gloucester.
I've got a stone in my shoe, but I'm in like a really good rhythm, cruising at about 10 mile an hour, and I really don't want to stop. I've probably got less than 10 miles to Gloucester, so I'm just stepping on a stone right now. And as I'm getting closer to Gloucester, it does seem the mist is gonna start lifting. Yes. The last 2 days have definitely felt like a bit of a chore. However, it was definitely better coming this way than the way I went with the BMX straight through Birmingham.
this is definitely a lot quieter, which was the main goal with the scooter. Avoid as many busy roads as possible. Ow. Stone is right on my heel. Gloucester. I just got to the hotel room. I managed to do about 50 miles as planned today, and got here bang on time. I managed to get here exactly at 2 p.m, which was check-in time, so I get to get everything charged, have a wash, relax a bit, because tomorrow I think is the last possible day to break the record of 75 miles. I've come close, 74 yesterday. But if I want to do it, it's gonna be tomorrow. So I'm gonna try and rest up as much as possible. I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 days where I've cracked 70 miles has definitely left my legs feeling pretty tired, pretty fatigued today. I mean, the bells from the church obviously didn't help, but yeah, so tomorrow I am going to try my best to beat that 75 miles. But from here, I have about 275 miles left. It's crazy to think, all the way from up there, all the way to here. It's madness. But it's cool. When you see it like that, it makes it all worth it. But yeah, tomorrow, I'm gonna try and push on. If I can, it's about 100 miles to Taunton from here. If I can do 80 to 90 miles tomorrow, I'll probably have to go into the dark a bit. I will be just ready to go into the hills the next day. That would be good, because from what I can tell from the weather, it's looking pretty good up until Sunday. So I've got tomorrow, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, possibly Saturday as well, to get to Land's End. But ideally, if I can get there around Friday, that would be good, because I really want to get to Land's End for once in the bloody sun. Right, I'll see you bright and early in the morning for what is hopefully going to be a record-breaking day. See you in the morning.